Hello, gorgeous souls on a human journey. This is Prachi Mayekar, your transformation trainer, and today's topic is so exciting. You know why? Because it promotes a lot of peace and love in the world. Today, I'm going to talk about something I get asked so frequently in my counseling or coaching sessions, in my community of participants. The question, which seems to bother a lot of people in especially romantic partnerships, meaning how to handle or deal with an insecure or jealous partner. If you are facing third degree questioning from your partner and you, no matter what you do, you just can't seem to gain their trust, this topic is going to be a lifesaver for you. And if you are the one who's feeling insecure or don't know how to start trusting your partner because they deserve it but you just can't seem to come around to it, then today's topic is for you too. So the very first thing that I want you to think about when you think about dealing with someone who's jealous or insecure is to ask yourself and them, why are they feeling this way? It's very important to understand the reason behind the way they are feeling this way, because when you do that you can address it directly. Now, one of the reasons could be something very straightforward, as in their past someone they love was either cheated or abandoned, or their trust was broken very badly by someone else, and maybe that's why they find it difficult to trust someone in their life currently. The other reason could be that this has happened with them alone, like in their own relationship in the past with someone else. They were cheated or abandoned, and maybe they don't want that to repeat, and that's why they are so insecure with you. Another reason could be that maybe you have actually changed the way you show up in a relationship. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. Everyone changes, relationships evolve, right? But not everyone changes or evolves at the same pace. Not everyone grows together. And that's why sometimes it can be very difficult when your partner sees you learning, growing, becoming more and more independent, and they feel left behind, and they don't want to be left behind, which is why they get insecure, they get jealous. No matter how good those choices are for you, how they need to be supportive of your growth and evolution, they just don't find it in themselves to be that. Another reason could be this, that you have grown distant for reasons that maybe your partner doesn't know. Maybe your relationship has gone through some kind of turmoil, and now it's difficult for you to see your partner in the same light anymore. But they don't know about this. And that's why they seem to be wanting to exert more and more control over you, making you feel like, oh my God, how do I handle this? Right? Now, once you identify the reason of why they are feeling this way, the first step that you're going to take is this: communicate openly and honestly. It is extremely critical that you have an open mind, open ears, open heart when they are willing to share their feelings of insecurity or jealousy with you. Because unless they vent or express or have you know why they feel the way they feel, you won't be able to help them. Right? You won't be able to be there for them. And you will have judgments of your own, because we all come from different emotional maps. Their emotional map may not be the same as yours. Now, when you receive their communication openly, now you can take the next step of understanding how to help them out when they help themselves too. So, step number one, communicate openly. Step number two, build trust. Any relationship, trust is the foundation. And how do you build trust? You got it, by being transparent. Now, transparency does not mean that you have to constantly update your partner on where you're going, who you're going with, what are you eating, what are you wearing. No, that's not transparency. Okay, that's third degree. Okay, that doesn't work. But transparency means just be very honest about what you intend to do with your time, so that they are not left wondering what are you up to. Make sense? Yeah. So if they ask you a question, be honest with your answer. And always begin by setting boundaries which describe what kind of behavior is acceptable to you and what is unacceptable to you. Like maybe 50 phone calls a day is not acceptable to you. You've got to communicate that clearly so they know when to reach you so that they don't disturb your work day. Secondly, after you've communicated your boundaries, be willing to accept theirs too. So if they ask you for something little extra, a little more than what you had promised in your boundaries, but it doesn't cause you any harm or it doesn't cost you, then be willing to give it to them. Why? Because both of you love each other and you want to take your relationship to a more harmonious level. Isn't that correct? Yeah. So remember, building trust is non negotiable, and that calls for being transparent and setting boundaries all the time, very, very clearly. Now, the other reason, where the other way where you can actually have better, more peaceful relationship with your partner is by understanding that you and them are different people when it comes to love. What do I mean by this? If you haven't picked up Gary Chapman's book, Five Languages of Love, I suggest you do it today immediately. It is a life changing book. In that, he clearly explains how we all have different ways of giving and receiving love. And that's why sometimes, no matter what you've done, no matter how much you've done, your partner may end up feeling like he or she just doesn't love me. You don't love me. Why? Because it's not that you're not doing enough, it's that you're doing something different than what they need or they require to feel loved. Making sense? Yeah. So understanding that maybe doing XYZ does not help them. It does not make them feel desired or loved or accepted or wanted. But doing ABC might work. So get to understand what your partner's love language is. Now, one of my most favorite ways to deal with insecurity or jealousy is to make the partner independent. I always suggest this, especially when couples come to me for counseling. This is a very critical step in a relationship because unfortunately, our idea of love is you complete me, I am whole because of you. It's all bullshit. Yeah, no. We are two whole individuals, complete individuals who come together and decide to build an entirely different, complete life together, right? So, support your partner in becoming independent. How do you do that? You show them their brilliant qualities. You help them see that they are not insufficient, that they are not lack of love or, unworthy of love, or they do not lack anything that requires for them to be loved, that is required for them to be loved. Because the moment you help them see that they are complete by themselves, that they've got brilliant qualities that can be utilized to become self reliant, they start to depend on you lesser and lesser. And complete dependency is one of the most critical reasons why people get insecure. Because the moment they start to feel that, oh my God, I'm losing my partner, or the moment they start to feel that I am not as important as I used to be to my partner, their insecurity or jealousy can go up. Yeah, so remember, help them see that they are brilliant and help them build their self confidence, their self esteem, so that they can become more self reliant. Now, another thing that you can do, and some people just can't pull this off, but I will definitely give it to you as a suggestion. Whether or not you want to do it, the choice will be entirely yours. Avoid doing things that trigger your partner's insecurity. Now you will say, yeah, but then that means I don't get my own freedom, that I cannot be myself. That's not what it means. What it means is this: if there are certain things in your behavior or your equation as a couple that you can do without, that they're not absolutely necessary for your existence, okay, they don't define you, that's not your identity, then maybe you can simply just avoid doing those things, because then your partner gets triggered by them, right? Now here's what you can do. If those things are absolutely necessary and you say to me, no Prachi, this is an important part of my existence, this is how I exert my independence, I can't compromise on this, then here's what you can do: be upfront about those things with your partner and be 100% clear with them. Honesty, remember transparency, that this is a non negotiable for me and I will continue to do so, but me doing so does not threaten your position in my life. I'm not doing this because I want to replace you or because I think I'm done with you and I'm, just going to move on. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because it helps me fulfill me as a human being. This is one of my greatest needs. And if you support this, it helps me become better. Now, the moment you have enrolled them in your cause, the moment you have communicated with them 100% transparently, what matters to you, what doesn't, do you really think they will not want to support you? Isn't that so? Yeah, because they love you, they care about you, and they want to see you happy. So the moment you become transparent with them and tell them that this is how things will work for me, I hope you can accept this part of me because it's an important part of me. You will score extra brownie points with them. Why? Because you're being honest. See, the goal is never to avoid confrontation, to lie or hide so that they don't get triggered. The goal is not to stop being honest with each other. In fact, the goal is to be even more transparent with each other, so that you can create a safe space for each other where both of you can actually be comfortable speaking your truth without being judged for it. Right? Now, let's say you've done everything that I've shared with you up until now, and still your partner finds it difficult and they still want to control and restrict every single move that you have in your life, then I genuinely request you to seek professional help. Yeah, because insecurity is such a problem. The feeling of jealousy is such a problem that it's intrinsic. From the outside, you can only help this much. Any person feeling insecure is actually reflecting their own lack of self-worth into the relationship. Your security in a relationship is a direct reflection of your security in yourself. When you love yourself, you don't seek external validation as much. When you're confident in your position in a relationship, when you're certain that you are valuable, you will not doubt whether the person in front of you values you. You won't even need them to value you, because you'll be very, very comfortable in being who you are and how you are with them. Right? But sometimes when we have experienced trauma in life, some of us are more fragile than others, and we can break a little more and require more care, more attention, more love, more patience. So here's my genuine request to you. If you are on a journey where you and your partner are experiencing jealousy or insecurity in any kind, but you believe that you're made for each other and you want to make this relationship work, please have first patience, second compassion while listening to your partner sharing with you, and third, believe that this change is something you both want. Both of you commit to it, because unless both of you are willing to do your part in it, there's no way this relationship can evolve. Yeah, so I hope everything that I shared with you today has helped, and it has been as life saving as it has been for most other people that I know of. This is me, Prachi Mayekar, your transformation trainer. Until next time, always be phenomenal.